Hey guys, this is a short look behind the scenes of my recently uploaded film Eutierria, which has been received with great support and amazing feedback. A lot of people have been asking for this behind the scenes video, and although I don't have as much behind the scenes footage as I would like to, it was definitely my plan to do this following the premiere of our film. I think a lot of people can imagine how much this film demanded of me, demanded of us, but to put it in perspective a bit more, here is my behind the scenes of Eutierria. As you might know, it all started out as the simple act of going into the water. After I decided to make a film project out of this experience, it was relatively soon clear what filming in these conditions meant, and it wasn't easy.
Mein Gott, 30 Jahre bei Wölfen gelebt im Wald, das geht nicht weg.
Even though we got acclimated quite well over time, body-wise and mentally, going with the camera gear was something else. You have to imagine that I took my camera gear with me into the water several times a week. Because we had -degrees, metal parts like the cage of my camera got extremely cold and my hands just got so numb that I couldn't feel them anymore. So sometimes it was very hard to operate my gear, and I could have worn gloves, but this isn't a good idea either because pressing buttons or turning sticks on your drone remote controller is just so much more difficult with gloves on. A lot of the footage used in the film is in reality extremely shaky, and this is because I was shaking. So I had to stabilize it in post, and it was hard to find the right moments that were giving me the visuals and the emotions that I was looking for, and that were at the same time kind of not too shaky so I could use them and stabilize them. Oftentimes I was the first one to go into the water to film everybody's entry and also the last one to leave it. Although this is nothing compared to Claudio, our icebreaker, who several times went in 5 to even 10 minutes earlier prior to everyone else to open up this little pool for us to take a bath in. But even when I was already in the water to film everybody's entry, I often realized afterwards that I didn't even feel the cold so much, and I was wondering why, until I realized that I was just so focused and concentrated on what I was filming that everything else just didn't matter anymore. It was just right after I left the water again and had put down my gear that I realized how extremely I was shaking and how cold I was. Every time we went to the lake, I took my big backpack with me, unpacked everything, and packed it back into the backpack afterwards with completely numb hands. I was really struggling sometimes. Interestingly, the colder it got, the more often we went. And this was mainly because the weather was so unpredictable that one day it was still quite warm and we were wading through slush ice.
Oh, it's like sludge. It's not ice, it's sludge.
On the next day, we suddenly found ourselves in a snowstorm, and on the third day it would be crystal clear skies and just a winter wonderland. On another day, the lake would suddenly be covered with a thick sheet of ice. I just had to take every opportunity we had to truly capture this mesmerizing change of seasons, you know? The most demanding day was definitely the night ice bath, though. We had planned this weeks before. I had ordered wax torches, lighters. We really thoroughly planned it out. Our biggest enemy was the weather, once again, because, like I say in the film, the winds were just so strong that we weren't sure whether it would be possible in the first place. And when we arrived at the spot, we really had some serious trouble lighting the torches.
Alter, was das für ein Wind?
But in the end, even though some were extinguished by the winds, everything went well, and people managed to help each other in the course of events. Also wie gesagt, das Objektiv hat keine Stabilisation, das heißt alles läuft über den Gimbal. Genau, und wenn du jetzt weitergehst, noch ein Stück nach links, dann komme ich wieder von hinten.
Das heißt, wir machen es lieber so, lieber haben wir bei der Übergabe 4 Hände an der Kamera.
Ja. It really was a well thought through process. I would even call it a performance. When it was over, I was just so relieved. So happy and relieved because my head went crazy up to that point.
Danke dir, Mann, dass du die ganze Zeit dabei warst.
Another thing I would like to mention is the sound design for the film. Of course, I used some of the original sounds from the camera, but often people were just too far away to hear them or to record their sounds. Almost every time we went, we had music playing to accompany us in and out, so I couldn't use that audio either because I wanted to have music playing in the film, of course. I actually made a lot of sound effects myself and also used some audio libraries. And then there is slow motion. Most of the time slow motion is used, sounds can't be done so well. If you just slow down the audio track of the footage, it doesn't really sound so good. So I had to come up with something else. In this part, for example, I used a mix of car crash sounds with shattering glass, whoosh sounds and impacts to give the impression of breaking ice. Also, this was my first voiceover ever in a film or a video, which was kind of a big obstacle for me. I recorded it on my desk between two big pillows to shield my microphone from echo and prevent unwanted phasing issues. So from October 2020 until July 2021, I filmed, sorted, recorded sound effects, negotiated with record labels, edited, color graded. In total it took me somewhat between 2 to 3 months of editing because I had to go through 8 months worth of footage. This is not everyday editing, of course, but it was quite a journey to get where we are now. If you haven't seen the film until now, I would be really happy if you would like to watch it. I will link it over here. It's only 30 minutes long and I think it will definitely spark some joy. Thank you so much for watching this video and I would love to see you again on this channel. Bye humans. Be brave and believe.
Strung out in the heartland, losing my mind. Strung out in the heartland, biding my time. No one remembers your name. Why would they? When you're strung out in the heartland alone. And damn this long cold winter, it's finally beating me down. Though we were once familiar, I'm just a stranger to you now. At the end of my days, wish I could take back the ways that got me strung out in the heartland alone. I'm strung out in the heartland alone.